You didn't say yes because you wanted it. You said yes because it felt stupid to say no. Not wrong, not risky, just awkward. And that moment cost you more than money. You remember the pause. That half second where your brain checked for danger and found none. No red flags, no pressure. Just a smile. Just the word, free. You didn't lean forward. You didn't get excited. You relaxed. That was the mistake, because nothing dangerous ever starts loud. It starts reasonable. They didn't ask for anything. Not yet. They gave first. Something small. Something useful. Something you could accept without feeling owned. You told yourself, it's just information. It's just a trial. And notice what you didn't tell yourself. You didn't say, I'm committing. You didn't say, this changes things. You felt safe, which is exactly when decisions slip past your guard. The moment passed. You moved on with your day. But the door didn't close. The follow-up didn't arrive like a demand. It arrived like a reminder. Polite, casual, almost helpful. You didn't feel sold to. You felt included. Like someone was keeping you in the loop. It referenced what you already accepted. That mattered. Because now the question wasn't, do you want this? It was, since you're already using it, you didn't stop to reassess. Why would you? You'd already crossed the safe part. The next step was small, smaller than the first. That's what made it dangerous. It didn't feel like escalation. It felt like optimization, like avoiding waste. You told yourself you were being efficient, practical, not emotional, but something shifted. Quietly, you stopped evaluating value. You started defending continuity. Because backing out now would mean admitting the first step was wrong. And that felt heavier than the cost. So you didn't cancel. You adjusted. You compromised. Each step still felt optional. But together, they were building momentum you didn't choose. That's how the trap tightens. Not with force. With flow. Nothing felt stolen. That's the unsettling part. You still felt in control. You could still stop. Technically, no locks, no threats, no contracts screaming at you. And yet, you didn't. Because the decision stopped feeling like a decision. By now, the system wasn't asking for permission. It was asking for consistency. Every step referenced the last one. Every message assumed you were still in. And that's when it flipped. You weren't choosing value anymore. You were protecting past choices. Not because they were good, but because reversing them would feel like loss. That discomfort right there is the lever. They didn't push you forward. They made going backward feel expensive. Late. Very late. A word finally surfaces in your mind. Not as a lesson, as a recognition. You weren't reacting to the offer, you were reacting to yourself. That's when you realize the free part already did its job. You don't notice the cost all at once. That's why it works. It shows up quietly, spread thin enough to ignore. Each charge feels explainable, justified, temporary. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later, when it's worth the effort, when it crosses a line. But later never feels urgent, because nothing is technically wrong. It's just adding up. Then one day, you finally stop. You look at the total, and it's higher than you expected. Not because of one decision, because of a dozen small ones you barely remember making. You try to trace it back, find the mistake. But there isn't a single moment to blame. That's the part that stings. You weren't tricked, you were guided. And the free gift? It did exactly what it was designed to do. It got you moving. You didn't lose because you were careless. You lost because stopping felt harder than continuing. Once you see this pattern, you'll notice how often it's used, especially when the stakes are high.